Miracles are thoughts aligned with truth. Wealth begins not in the bank, but in the mind. Everything you see around you was once an idea. The buildings, the bridges, the books, the billions, they all started as thoughts. Likewise, your wealth is not something you chase, but something you recognize and allow. The outer world simply reflects the inner state. Miracle thinking is the act of choosing a higher thought, a thought that aligns with abundance, love, truth, and divine possibility. When you begin to think differently, the world begins to respond differently. You are not a passive observer of reality, you are a co-creator with it. Let this truth sink in. Your mind is holy. Your thoughts are powerful. And your belief is the soil from which miracles grow. The shift from survival to miraculous creation. Most of us were taught that money comes only through hard work, struggle, or luck. While effort has its place, the miracle mindset teaches something deeper. Supply is spiritual, not material. When you believe you must strive, compete, or manipulate to receive wealth, you block the flow. When you begin to trust that the universe is abundant and that your mind is a conduit for good, you shift from survival to creation. This is not delusion. This is remembering truth. Reprogramming the inner narrative. What do you believe about money? What do you say about yourself in secret? What are the silent thoughts that echo in your mind when you pay a bill or check your account? Those thoughts are creating results. Miracle wealth begins with mental honesty. You must bring the dark, fearful thoughts into the light, not to shame them, but to dissolve them with truth. Let the following become your new inner language. Wealth Affirmations of Chapter 1. Repeat slowly, daily, and with full belief, or at least with willingness. I am the thinker of prosperous thoughts, and so I create a prosperous life. My mind is a powerful channel for divine abundance. I release fear and choose to trust in the infinite source within me. The wealth I seek is already seeking me through inspired thought. Every thought I think is planting seeds of abundance or lack. I choose abundance. I allow myself to be guided by the voice of love, not fear. I am open to new ideas that carry the energy of wealth and peace. My mind is a magnet for miracles. As I align with divine truth, prosperity becomes inevitable. I am worthy of every good thing, simply because I exist. Miracle practice. Daily mental wealth exercise. Each morning, before checking your phone, bank account, or to-do list, speak this aloud. My thoughts are sacred. I choose the miracle of wealth today. I am supported by divine intelligence. Let this affirmation reset your nervous system, your mind, and your momentum. The mind is the root. Water it daily with truth. If lack is but a form of fear, what would you want that for? Lack is not a condition, it is a perception. It is the belief that there's not enough money, opportunity, time, worth, or support. But lack isn't real in the divine sense. It exists only in the mind that has forgotten its connection to source. Just as darkness is the absence of light, lack is the absence of truth. When we see ourselves as separate from our source, we feel poor, anxious, and alone. But wealth flows the moment we remember that we are not separate, we are expressions of divine abundance itself. Scarcity is a learned illusion. We inherited scarcity. We weren't born with it. As children, we marveled at the world, asked boldly, received openly. But as we grew, we were told money doesn't grow on trees, be realistic, and you have to earn your worth. These phrases, repeated often, became beliefs. And beliefs create our experience. To live a miraculous life, we must unlearn lack and return to truth-based thinking. I am not separate. I am supported. I am safe. There is always enough. Supply is spiritual first. Money is not your source. Your job is not your source. These are channels, not the origin of abundance. Source is within you. It expresses through inspired ideas, intuition, unexpected gifts, timing, relationships, and yes, even miracles. When you stop worshiping the form, money, and trust the formless, divine mind, lack loses its grip on your life. You begin to expect provision, not question it. Repeat these to soften fear and rewire your mind. I release the belief that I am lacking anything. I remember, all supply comes from within. I trust that the universe is generous by nature. My needs are met before I even ask. There is always more than enough for me and others. I no longer measure wealth by numbers, but by peace. I am divinely provided for, in expected and unexpected ways. The belief in lack dissolves now. I am free. Miracle practice. Write down, where in my life do I still believe in lack? Notice any lingering thoughts like, there's never enough time. I can't afford that. I have to work harder than others. Then say aloud, these thoughts are not true. I choose the miracle of trust. You're not affirming wealth to get rich quickly, you're affirming to align with truth. From that alignment, material wealth naturally flows. You were not born to struggle for worthiness. It is already yours. At the core of every financial block is an identity issue, some hidden belief that says, I don't deserve that much, or it's not for people like me. These thoughts don't just limit your bank account, they restrict the energy of life itself. They keep you small, unseen, and always reaching for what seems just out of grasp. But here's the truth, you are already enough. Not because you've earned it, but because you were created whole. Your worth isn't tied to your productivity, your income, or how good you've been. Worth is intrinsic. It's spiritual. It cannot be gained or lost, only accepted or denied. Miraculous wealth begins when you stop trying to become worthy and start living from the truth that you already are. When you say yes to your divine identity, you allow the universe to say yes to you. You give yourself permission to receive more, not because you're greedy, but because you're aligned with what's real. You remember that abundance isn't something you have to earn, it's a reflection of who you are. Many people unknowingly sabotage their financial growth because they're holding on to guilt, shame, or a deep-seated belief that wealth is somehow wrong. But wealth, in its purest form, is simply expanded life. It allows you to give more, create more, and be more fully yourself. It's not ego, it's expression. It's time to let go of the old stories. I've made too many mistakes. I wasn't born into the right family. People like me don't get wealthy. These are not truths. They are inherited illusions. And illusions dissolve in the light of identity. You are not your past. You are not your paycheck. You are not your struggle. You are a radiant expression of divine intelligence, chosen to be here, supported by the same power that created galaxies. There is nothing less than about you. There never was. Affirming your worth is not arrogance, it's spiritual responsibility. When you own your value, you show others how to do the same. Affirmations for worthiness and wealth. I am already worthy of all good things. My value is not up for debate, it is divine and unshakable. I receive abundance as a natural extension of who I am. I forgive myself for ever believing I was not enough. I walk in the world as someone chosen, supported, and loved. I am a vessel of divine wealth and holy purpose. My worth is infinite, and so is my capacity to receive. Let this be the day you stop waiting to be worthy. Wealth does not ask for perfection, it responds to truth. And the truth is, you are already enough. Abundance lives in the present. Always. Not in the future you're hoping for, not in the past you regret. The miracle of wealth is accessible now, in this breath, in this moment, in this very heartbeat. But the ego will try to distract you. It says, you'll be secure once you have more, or you were better off before things changed. It pushes you toward the illusion of someday or pulls you into what was. Either way, it keeps you from the one place where creation happens, here and now. Every desire for wealth is actually a desire for a feeling you think it will bring: peace, joy, freedom, relief. But those states aren't earned through the accumulation of things. They're available when you choose to align with them now. When you feel peace without waiting for the outcome, you open the door for the outcome to appear. This is the paradox of miracle-based abundance. You must become what you think wealth will give you before it arrives. That's how you invite it in. Gratitude is your access point. Not the kind of forced gratitude that pretends everything is fine, but a genuine recognition of the good already here, even if it's small. Even if it's invisible. Even if all you can say is, I am still breathing. That alone is enough to start the flow. Gratitude roots you in presence. And presence is where the divine operates. If you're constantly affirming that something is missing, the universe reflects back more absence. But when you declare, I have, you open the energetic gates for more to arrive. Stop waiting for your life to look abundant before you feel abundant. Miracles don't follow logic, they follow alignment. When you live as if wealth is already yours, you activate a magnetic field that pulls provision toward you in ways you could never have planned. You are not preparing for a wealthy life, you are living it now, by how you think, how you feel, how you speak. Affirmations for present moment prosperity. Abundance exists in this moment, and I allow myself to feel it now. I stop waiting and start receiving. I am grateful for what is already mine, seen and unseen. The more I dwell in presence, the more miracles appear. I am a magnet for wealth because I live in truth, not time. I allow joy and peace to fill me before anything changes. I am rich in awareness, and that richness manifests outwardly. Let presence be your prosperity. The mind may chase, but the soul receives. You don't have to wait to feel abundant. Feel it now, and watch how the world shifts to meet your vibration. Forgiveness is a wealth key few people recognize. We often think money is blocked by external factors, economy, education, background, but the deepest blockages live in the heart. Unforgiven moments. Old regrets. Resentments toward others who have more. Guilt for past mistakes. Silent self-punishment for things you didn't know then. These are the hidden barriers that constrict the flow of abundance. When your heart is heavy, your hands cannot stay open. When you are holding on to grudges, blame, shame, there's no space to receive. Forgiveness isn't just an emotional practice, It's a miracle strategy. It creates space. It softens fear. It returns you to alignment. To forgive is not to excuse what happened. It's to stop letting it define what happens next. Many people secretly believe they don't deserve wealth because of something they've done, or failed to do. So they self-sabotage. They earn and then lose. Or they never let themselves begin. Not because they're lazy or incapable, but because they still believe they must pay for their past. But the universe does not operate in punishment, it operates in pattern. And when you forgive, you break the pattern. You interrupt the loop. You open a new path. Sometimes it's not yourself you need to forgive, but others, especially those connected to your money story. Parents who struggled. Teachers who mocked. Bosses who devalued you. Partners who withheld. When you silently carry resentment, you unconsciously tie your abundance to their behavior. Forgiveness cuts the cord. It says, I no longer bind my future to what they did. I reclaim my power now. There is nothing you've done that cannot be healed. Nothing you've lost that cannot be replaced. No wound too deep for love to reach. Forgiveness is how you rise again. Wealth is simply the reflection. Affirmations for forgiveness and financial freedom. I forgive myself for what I did when I didn't know better. I release others from the stories I've carried. I am free. I let go of guilt. I let go of blame. I welcome peace. Every act of forgiveness opens the flow of abundance. My worth is not reduced by past choices, it is eternal. I bless the lessons, release the pain, and step forward in love. I am no longer bound by yesterday. Today is my miracle. Abundance and forgiveness are deeply linked. One softens the heart, the other fills it. When you let go, you open up. And what you open to is always more loving, more peaceful, and more prosperous than what you left behind. You are not creating wealth alone. The idea that you must figure everything out, hustle harder, or carry the entire weight of your future is a lie rooted in separation. True abundance is never a solo project. It's a co-creation between you and the divine. There is a loving intelligence that lives within you, call it spirit, source, God, higher self. It is not far away, judging or withholding. It is near, willing, and ready to partner with you. But like any partnership, it requires trust. It requires space to speak. When you release the need to control every outcome, you make room for guidance. You stop striving and start listening. Ideas arrive. Opportunities unfold. People show up. Things click, not because you forced them, but because you aligned with them. Miracle-based wealth doesn't come from sheer force. It comes from being in tune with something higher than your ego's logic. It comes from taking inspired action, not frantic action. There's a difference. One drains. The other flows. This is not about being passive or just waiting on the universe. Co-creation is active. You show up, you do your part, but you let spirit handle the how. You follow the nudges, the openings, the quiet knowing that says, go here. Try this. Not that. When you work with the divine, you multiply what's possible. What would have taken 10 years can take 10 days. What you thought was lost can be restored. What seemed impossible becomes natural. You are not begging the universe for scraps. You are collaborating with a loving force that wants to see you flourish. Speak to it. In silence. In prayer. In your car. At your desk. Say, I'm willing to be shown. Lead me. Use me. Prosper through me. And then be still enough to listen. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust that when you ask for guidance, something answers, and always in your favor. Affirmations for co-creating with the divine. I am not alone in creating my abundance. I open my mind to divine guidance and inspired ideas. I release control and trust the intelligence that created me. Miracles unfold when I listen to my inner voice. I co-create my life with love, trust, and joy. My wealth is a reflection of my spiritual alignment. I allow the universe to support me in visible and invisible ways. You don't have to do it all. You were never meant to. What you're meant to do is listen, trust, and move with grace. In that dance, abundance finds you again and again. Money is not the enemy. It is energy, waiting for a purpose. For too long, we've been taught that money is either holy or harmful, sacred or selfish. But money itself is neutral, it's what we assign to it that gives it meaning. In the hands of love, money becomes a tool of healing. In the hands of fear, it becomes a weapon or a burden. To live abundantly, you must release the old guilt or confusion around wealth. You must begin to see money not as something to chase or fear, but as something that serves your values, your vision, your joy. When you bring love into your relationship with money, everything changes. You stop hoarding or fearing lack. You stop wasting or proving worth. Instead, you ask a higher question. How can this wealth move through me in a way that blesses life? This shift unlocks flow. Because love is not stagnant, and neither is true abundance. When money moves with intention, with compassion, with clarity, it multiplies. It circulates back to you because it knows you're a safe and sacred place for it to land. It's time to rewire the subconscious patterns that say, I'll lose myself if I get rich. Spiritual people shouldn't care about money. Having more means others have less. These beliefs are not spiritual, they're scarcity in disguise. Real wealth uplifts. It adds, heals, gives, and empowers. It doesn't take from others, it expands what's possible for everyone. Money isn't the miracle. You are. Money simply amplifies what's already within you. If you're generous now, you'll be generous with more. If you're wise now, you'll be wiser with plenty. Don't wait to become loving after the money comes. Be loving now, and let wealth flow through that love. Let money be your servant, not your master. Let it carry your prayers into action. Let it work in service to the vision your soul holds. Affirmations for holy wealth and sacred use. Money flows to me and through me for good. I release guilt and welcome abundance with purpose. I honor money as a servant of my highest values. The more I prosper, the more I can uplift others. My wealth has meaning. It carries love into the world. I am a responsible, joyful, and generous receiver. I trust myself with money, because I trust love within me. You are here not just to receive wealth, but to transform what wealth means. When you walk in love, money follows, and it knows exactly where to go. Just because you can't see it yet doesn't mean it isn't coming. The greatest test in manifesting abundance is often the invisible phase, the space between intention and evidence, between the prayer and the proof. It's here that doubt creeps in, that fear whispers, "It's not working." But in truth, this space is sacred. It's where your trust is refined. You're not being denied. You're being prepared. There is a spiritual supply already moving toward you. Not because you've earned it, but because you've aligned with it. When your energy, your belief, and your willingness are in harmony, the universe begins arranging everything on your behalf, even if you can't yet trace the thread. Faith is not pretending. It's choosing. Choosing to believe in what you cannot see more than you believe in what you fear. Choosing to stay in expectancy when the outer world gives you no reason to. Faith is a bold inner yes to what you know deep down is already yours. Stop looking for signs that it's working. Start being the sign. Act as though the wealth has already arrived. Make choices that reflect your trust, not your doubt. Think thoughts that match your vision, not your circumstances. This is not denial, it's energetic leadership. When you lead with belief, the material world eventually follows. So much of the world's wealth appears through channels of logic, planning, effort. But the deeper wealth, the kind that surprises you, that arrives through grace, that opens doors you didn't even know existed, comes through faith. It comes through letting go of how and holding on to truth. You are not waiting. You are aligning. You are preparing. You are becoming. What you can't see is not missing, it's forming. Affirmations for faith and invisible supply. I trust in divine timing and unseen provision. What I need is already on its way to me. I live in expectancy, not in fear. I am guided by faith, not by appearances. I believe in what I feel more than what I see. Miracles often begin in silence. I welcome them anyway. I walk forward, knowing abundance walks with me. Let your faith be louder than your fear. When you trust the unseen, you make room for the miraculous. Life isn't withholding anything. It's working behind the scenes for your highest good. Wealth is not something you chase, it's something you become. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. This is the quiet secret behind lasting abundance. It's not about trying harder, it's about embodying the energy of wealth now, before the evidence appears. Everything is energy. Your words, emotions, posture, decisions, and presence all carry frequency. When you align with the vibration of abundance, confidence, calm, generosity, trust, you naturally magnetize more of it into your life. But most people live in reverse. They wait to feel secure after the money arrives. They postpone joy, delay generosity, shrink their light until the outcome appears. And in doing so, they stay stuck in the energy of lack. The frequency says not enough, even when the intention says more. The miracle is that you can choose your frequency, regardless of circumstances. Begin acting as the version of you who already has what you desire. What does that version of you believe? How do they speak? What do they say yes to, and no to? What energy do they bring into the room? This is not about pretending or playing dress up. It's about alignment. The fastest way to become wealthy is to stop waiting and start feeling wealthy, through gratitude, presence, and inner assurance. When you embody the vibration, you no longer ask for abundance from a place of lack. You allow it from a place of truth. This frequency isn't just about money. It's about being grounded in your worth, expansive in your thinking, and willing to carry joy with you, even before life gives you a reason. Dress your energy first, and the outer world will mirror it back to you. Affirmations for embodying the frequency of wealth. I carry the energy of wealth in my body, mind, and soul. I already am what I seek to become. I think, speak, and act from a place of abundance. I am magnetic to all that aligns with my highest self. I feel rich in love, peace, and purpose, and it expands around me. I walk with the confidence of someone already supported. My frequency is clear, empowered, and open to miracles. Let how you feel lead the way. Not just once, but daily, intentionally. When you live as the future version of yourself now, you collapse the distance between desire and reality. The world moves for those who already believe it has. True wealth is freedom, the freedom to choose, to create, to live fully without fear or limitation. Money alone does not guarantee freedom. You can have dollars and still feel trapped by worry, by habits, by what others expect from you. But when wealth flows from a place of inner liberation, it becomes a powerful tool for living your highest truth. Freedom begins inside. It is the choice to release control, to trust the process, and to honor your deepest desires without apology. When you free yourself from the stories that bind you, stories of scarcity, unworthiness, or obligation, you open a doorway. Through that doorway flows a stream of abundance that supports your soul's calling. This freedom means saying yes to opportunities that light you up and no to those that drain your energy. It means choosing generosity over greed, rest over burnout, love over fear. Financial freedom is not just about numbers, it's about alignment. When you live aligned with your values and soul's purpose, money becomes effortless, joyful, and abundant. You begin to see wealth not as a goal but as a reflection of your freedom to be yourself fully. And the more free you feel inside, the more miracles show up outside. This is your invitation to step into that freedom right now, to release what holds you back and embrace the abundant life waiting for you. Affirmations for freedom and abundant living. I am free to create a life of joy, purpose, and abundance. I release all that limits my financial and spiritual freedom. I choose experiences that uplift and inspire me. Money flows effortlessly as I align with my highest truth. I trust that freedom is my birthright and my present reality. I live boldly, generously, and with open-hearted abundance. Every day, I claim my freedom and welcome miracles. Freedom is the ultimate wealth. When you claim it within, the universe responds by expanding your world. You don't need permission to be free, and neither do you need to wait. The time is now.